Alaska, America's magnificent, untamed last frontier. A place removed from the rest of the country, perhaps from the rest of the world. Alaska. Temperatures and terrain so formidable and intimidating, they bring only one response from the foolhardy and the fearless: the urge to conquer.
The Alcan Winter Rally is an endurance test for driver and machine in extreme temperatures, in extreme conditions. You're putting the vehicle to the test, you're putting yourself through the test. It's nothing that you've experienced before.
I think you're right.
Johnny Unser and Paul Dallenbach accepted Isuzu's invitation to drive a stock 1994 Isuzu Rodeo beyond the 66th parallel in the 1994 Alcan Winter Rally. Tom Grimshaw, the 1985 Alcan winner, served as navigator. The Alcan Rally pits drivers, navigators, and vehicles against the fiercest elements, and against each other.
This is a BMW 325iX, and the X is the only important part of that because it's the one that signifies four-wheel drive.
This is a Ford Explorer Limited. It's a 94, and we're raring to go.
I'd like to welcome everybody here.
At the starting line of a rally, vehicles leave at 1-minute intervals according to car number on an official clock. Each vehicle must try to reach predetermined checkpoints at a precise time and must perform well in a series of solo 2 hot laps, timed events on closed courses. The vehicle with the best overall showing during the 8 days and 4,200 miles of events will win. Can the rodeo do it? Though a rodeo equipped identically to the Isuzu race entry will serve as one of the rally's rescue vehicles, and though the rodeo has won its class in each of the last 2 Alcan rallies, no SUV has ever won the entire race.
The trick to the rally is consistency and navigator-driver communication. If you've got a great navigator, you usually can do pretty well. And Greg Lester, my navigator, is fabulous.
2 of the best navigators in the country are here. Greg Lester, I made the mistake of calling him Hannibal Lester in the last Winter Alcan, and he hasn't spoken to me since then. Tom Grimshaw, you know. He understands all the psych games of TSD rallying, which is probably more important than driving skill in something like this. Although driving skill is very important. Why am I saying that? I'm navigating. I don't care about it.
There were some good hot cars running and some good navigators, some good drivers, and it put a little more pressure on us because the 2 fellows in my car are not rally drivers, they're race drivers. And it's a whole different world trying to stay on time to the second as opposed to trying to beat everybody by minutes.
I don't know, we just got to keep it out of the ditch and listen to Tom.
How are you going to win this race? Tell me that.
Oh, you know, same thing that got us here in the first place, just clean living and constant prayer.
And we hope we have extreme conditions up there, because if we do, I think it'll give us a slight edge having the rodeo. We got a great car, so I think we're in for a good race.
3, 2, 1, you're off.
I'm running for Ford Motor Company.
How you going to beat the rodeo?
Very quickly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go for it. Good luck, guys.
How are you going to beat the rodeo?
Oh, that's going to be a piece of cake. This is a BMW.
Let them beat themselves. 3, 2, 1, good luck, guys.
You think you're going to win?
I think I got the best navigator on the rally right here.
Good luck, guys. Go for it!
To his credit, Johnny Unser has years behind the wheel in Indy cars and has set the speed record at Sebring. But now he's in his first rally.
In rallying, you have to be consistent. In racing other types of cars, we're just going as hard as we can go, as fast as we can go. Well, here you have to stay at a set speed.
Paul Dallenbach set the world speed record up Pikes Peak last summer, but now faces his first rally.
It's still pretty difficult because the roads sometimes do not favor the speed that you're trying to go. So most of the time you're going as fast as you can.
Tom Grimshaw, in his 9th Alcan, is the 1 rally veteran on Team Isuzu.
The idea is to hit unknown checkpoints at a given speed at the exact second. That's difficult to do. What the computer does is it takes the mileage computes what the miles per hour is, and it tells you the information that you need to stay on time or on course. And sometimes you might run 300 miles in a rally and have 5 or 6 checkpoints, and you have to hit these unknown checkpoint locations at the exact second. In the old days, we did that with a piece of paper and a pencil. At the same time, we're following a course, so I'll be giving the driver instructions, turn right on a side road, straight through a crossroad, right at T, left at stop sign, etc. You stay on course, stay on time, and wait for the next speed change. While you're doing all that and rolling down the road, you're passing checkpoints that are timing you to the exact second.
Each timed segment is called a TSD, shorthand for time, speed, distance, the measurements used to keep score. In the first TSD, the Isuzu team took 36 seconds, putting the rodeo in 4th place. Team Isuzu will need to make up some time.
We're at the Gold Pan Raceway at Quesnel, British Columbia. It's a 3/8 mile oval track here that they use for stock car racing and demolition derbies in the summer. I guess we're the only ones that use it in the winter.
I've got to just put in a consistent lap, and then Paul can get out there and have some fun.
2, 1, go! We're here to do a Solo 2 or slalom race. A Solo 2 is a 1 car at a time race on a track. In the TSD, they have to drive the speed we tell them, and they're penalized for being either early or late. Here, it's as fast as you can go. First car wins.
We're roughing it out here. Leather seats, power seats, all that kind of stuff, but it seems to be doing pretty well.
How does it handle around the turns?
Well, it moves around, but that's okay. You know, we're getting a good time out of it, so that's all that matters.
I'm Satch Carlson, ace rally driver, number 23 in your programs and number 1 in your heart.
It's slicker than it appears, and you just got to be real smooth and kind of tiptoe your way around.
The cars are pushing a lot, so I don't know if the track's getting faster or slower, but Johnny put down a good enough time, so I just got to get close to his time and we'll be okay. I think I'm going to hook a wheel on the inside bank and try to spin it around, you know, see what happens. You don't mind if I roll this thing, do you?
Getting the fastest time in the Solo 2 event improved the Isuzu team's score, but only by 5 seconds, still over 18 seconds behind the Ford Explorer.
Well, it's an interesting prospect to go up the Alaska Highway, even during the summertime. It's a challenge, and the wintertime certainly makes it even more so. And there's some real challenging road there with lots of hairpin turns on it. It's not the best road even in the summertime.
And was he right? The start of the Alaska Highway marked disaster for many competitors. In the next 1,400 miles, nearly every car was in a ditch.
Well, I think everybody's maybe been off the road at least a few inches here or there. We've had to extract one of the cars a couple of times, and most of the cars at least once, I think. We had one car day 2 coming into Dawson Creek that went off enough they needed a tow truck.
We rolled it over, we just punched out the roof a little bit with our feet. It's still working, which I think is just terrific.
Every car in this rally except one other car in ours has been off the road. Every car, and all of them have been off the road more than once in the last 5 days. We haven't even come close, and it's been the most comfortable ride I've ever had. It just seems to flow along. Even when you're pushing it too hard on ice, as we were this morning when we came by, you just kick the brake a little bit and it's back on, and I've never had a bad moment the whole ride.
The ralliers continued north up the Dempster Highway, trying to stay on time through Arctic wind and blowing snow.
It was a long way up here, but it was a nice ride.
We're at the Arctic Circle, and wind chill is probably 60 below right now. I mean, the roads are as extreme conditions as I've ever been on. They're a nice road the whole way, and I mean, the rodeo performed flawlessly. We haven't had a problem with it. Everything's gone great.
Everybody was encountering fuel problems coming up from Dawson City. We had plenty of fuel. We were one of the few that didn't run out of gas, and we had no problems any other way. I mean, we were picking up people on the side of the road, or at least waving at them when we drove by.
We go another 200, 240 miles, something like that, up to Inuvik, or Inuvik, whichever way you want to pronounce it, which is just short of the Arctic Ocean.
The end of the Dempster, as far north as one can drive. The ralliers head south the last 1,400 miles to Anchorage. Staying on the road and precise driving bring the rodeo into the lead.
This last section we just got through, it seemed like every other car that was in contention self-destructed for some reason, except ours. It was very close today. When we started today, there was one car, BMW was 8 seconds behind us, another car 2 behind him, another car 1 second behind him. So the top 4 cars were within 10 seconds of each other. 10 seconds is not a lot of time.
It comes down to the final solo 2. A mistake now will cost the team the race.
I'm amazed. We've been running the car hard, many of the miles in four-wheel drive, high range, and to run the car that hard, to run the engine that hard, I'm impressed.
The scored event's over. The drivers head into Anchorage and reflect on the past 4,200 miles.
It's an extreme test of drivers, machinery, navigators. It's an extreme test for everybody, and we're real fortunate with the car to have it because it's just done a great job for us.
We've been flying on these roads. We haven't had any problems. It's a test of a good vehicle.
After bitter cold, it's the bitter end for many drivers. Of the 13 starters, 2 did not finish. 1 was towed across the finish. 1 had 4 flat tires and a broken clutch cable. And 11, all but the rodeo, had been in the ditch. The combination of driver, navigator, and vehicle made the difference.
It was kind of tough, especially up north, but that's what the deal's all about, actually, is to challenge ourselves and challenge the machinery, and we did that.
These guys are such a bunch of weaklings. We can't understand how we stumbled into second place.
Oh, it's been the most fun I've ever had up here. Yeah, there's the 2 grand guys I'm running with.
It was great. Everything ran really good.
This is the first time a sport utility has won.